Awesome. Well, hello, and welcome back to another part of my channel. I was going to say episode, but these aren't really episodes. This is part 2 to my Study Abroad series. I'm going to be talking about all things social. Make sure that you go watch my other video, which talks about the application process and also what it was like academically. So we're just going to start with the very beginning, what it was like when I first got there. I show up at my house and I'm greeted with a bunch of Americans. I thought that I would be living with other Irish students or even, other people from different countries, but it was all American students, which I'm honestly not too mad about because I have that cultural aspect that I could bond with them even if we didn't really have much else to bond over. So I ended up making friends with one of my roommates, and we went on a couple trips together, like to Scotland, and then we just kind of drifted apart. She focused more on school, and she made other friends, which is great. But it did kind of suck at the time because I thought we had this like really good friendship vibe in. But that is okay because shortly after that, I made a bunch of other friends. So we're just gonna like backpedal a little bit, but that's kind of like the groundwork for what's about to come with the friend making situation. So when I got there, I just tried to make friends with literally anyone. If I met someone and we had like a decent conversation, I was like, let's exchange numbers, let's go get coffee, let's do something together. I just wanted to make friends, and I was open to literally anyone at that point. You never really know how a friendship is going to start or evolve, and so I was like, I'm just gonna shoot my shot and see if anything lands. So I did that with other American students, other Irish students, and other study abroad students from different countries. And obviously some of them didn't stick, but there was the Christian Union, which was such a godsend. I found that my second day of being in Ireland. I thought that there were no Christian clubs on campus. I thought I would be totally alone spiritually, but somehow I found it, and it honestly gave me so much encouragement going into this study abroad experience because I was like, awesome, I have a place where I could potentially make friends. So I got involved with that. I think I went to almost every single meeting. I went to some of their after events, like they went to watch movies and bowling and stuff like that, played games at one of their houses. So that was a very big part of my social scene. I honestly probably wouldn't have made friends if it wasn't for that. Obviously, I think I made like a couple of friends outside of that club, but that was where I made pretty much all my friends. So I got involved with that, met a bunch of people, and the people who I thought I would be friends with in the club actually didn't really end up being friends with, but the people who I thought I wouldn't be friends with, I ended up being friends with. So that's pretty ironic. I also got involved with a church called Elevate. There were about 3 Protestant evangelical churches to choose from, and one of them went to that church and had a car, so I was like, bet, I have a ride. And I met some people there as well, got plugged in with that church, and if I wasn't traveling on a Sunday, then I would go to church. So those were kind of the 2 main ways that I made friends, was through Elevate and the Christian Union. I also met friends in my classes and on other like trips that I took with the student union, and then I also took trips with Outdoor Pursuits. But like I said, the main way I made friends was through the Christian Union and Elevate because we had that spiritual connection of both being Christians. So I had this crazy idea to go on a St. Patrick's Day trip to Donegal, which is up north. It's really hard to get to if you don't have a car, and that was one of the places I really wanted to go to, but there was kind of no way for me to get there except for someone having a car. And so I just literally invited anyone and everyone that I knew from Elevate and the Christian Union. I knew about 3 to 4 people with cars, and one of them took the bite. And her name is Jenny. I don't know if I'll name drop everyone in this video because there's a lot of names, but Jenny played a huge role in my time in Ireland, and she decided to, go along for the adventure, which I am super grateful for. It was me, her, 2 other American students, and an Irish student as well. And so there were 5 of us in this car. A lot of us didn't know each other, but we bonded right away. We were just having inside jokes and laughs, and we just kind of became a family on this trip. It was so incredible and honestly changed my time studying abroad because before this, almost all of February, I was kind of alone. I didn't really have anyone to hang out with or do things with. Sure, I had like one-off friendships, but for the most part, I would just sit in my room after school, maybe do homework, just watch TV, eat dinner, travel by myself places. I never really had that deep connection with people. Like I said, I met a lot of friends and maybe did like one or two things with them, but it wasn't that deep bond that you have with like actual friendships that are long standing. So this was like a game changer for me, and it's just insane how it all happened. I feel like it wasn't just a big impact for me, but for also the other American students that went on that trip. It really did change the game for us. We did become a family. We'd have family dinners and stuff like that. We went to watch movies and play games, and it was just such a great way to make my time studying abroad so much more meaningful, because it wasn't just like, oh, this is the place where I studied abroad. It was like, no, this is the place where I found like family and like people that I can call mine. And so that was really transformative, and it was really sad to leave after that moment. I went on another trip to Belfast with almost the same group, except one more American student, and Jenny couldn't go on that trip, and we took the train instead. So that was another big like pivotal trip that we went on. And then I also made friends with other Irish students that we had like coffee and went on some like random adventures with. It was actually pretty funny. There was a storm that was like the storm of all storms. It was called Storm Emma, and it shut down the entire country. I like couldn't believe it. It snowed, and they never get snow, and so everyone was freaking out. So I went to the store with Emma, which is what makes this so ironic, because right before Storm Emma, I went to the store with Emma to get food, and they were all sold out of bread and milk. All they had was gluten-free bread. So that was pretty funny and a great bonding experience for us. She actually ended up coming to America to visit other Irish friends of hers, and I happened to live in the same area that she was coming to visit, so I got to spend about 2 days with her, I think, and that was so much fun. I think 2 or 3 days, I'm not really sure how many, but I got to spend some time with her as well, which was just so incredibly fun and such an adventure. And so yeah, those are some people. I guess I'll name drop everyone, so if anyone watches this, they don't feel left out. Hopefully I don't forget anyone. There's Emily, Jesse, Jeremiah, Alana, Victoria, David's wife, who wasn't there, but her name's Erin, and I went to go visit them in Wisconsin last year, so that was really cool. I'm trying to think of who else. I think that's it. I really hope I didn't forget anyone. But yeah, I don't think I did. Those were like the main people that I really bonded with. Obviously, I made other friends that I could name all of them if I tried, like everyone that I met that had some sort of impact on me while I was there, but those were like the main core. And so yeah, such an exciting time. That's my biggest suggestion. If you're studying abroad, like please make friends with local people. You are gonna have to go out of your way. I kind of like force my way into making friends with these people because I'm a pursuer. And so it's just kind of natural for me. I just kind of pursue friendships. But you are going to have to kind of do that because people who are from the country you're studying abroad in, they don't really need you. I know that's really harsh, but they have their friends. They know you're just going to be there for a semester or for a year. And so you're going to be the one that has to insert yourself and make the effort, because most of the time they're probably not going to make as much of an effort, but that doesn't mean that they don't want to be your friend or don't think that you're an awesome person. It's just that they're preoccupied with their world and you're just entering their world for a time and then you're leaving again. So it kind of makes it a little bit different. I'm trying to think what else is there. Making friends. Yeah, make friends with not just people who are from your country, because although it's like nice that you have that comfort level of cultural identity and stuff, you are going to miss out on that experience of the culture that you are in. And when you leave, you're not going to have as much of a tie to come back, other than like, I want to go back to the place that I studied abroad. It's not like I want to go back and see the people that really impacted my life, which is what I ended up doing. I went to go visit Jenny last year in Ireland, and we went on 2 mini road trips, which was so much fun. And I also got to see some of my other Irish friends as well. I saw Emily, Jeremiah, and Jesse when I was there, which was, again, like so cool to see these people again. And I got to go to some of my favorite places in that country and just have like more memories and stuff like that. So I think that makes a really big difference. It's really hard to get plugged into a community and establish these bonds that you know are not going to last for that long. I mean, I only knew I was going to be there for 4 months, but although it made that much harder leaving, it also makes it like that much sweeter because it's like bittersweet. It's like so hard leaving, but it's also sweet because you're like, wow, I made such long-lasting friendships and bonds, and I still talk to these people today, and I consider them really good friends. And so I think that makes like such a big impact. Obviously, leaving was so sad. I stayed up all night with my friends. We just didn't want to leave each other. We did not plan to stay up all night, but we did plan like one last get together, and we were just like, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. And then finally the sun rose and they had to catch a bus and had to leave. But I was with them until the very end. Victoria and Alana and David and I were all together, up all night, and just having a blast, enjoying those memories. I ended up having to pack 8 hours straight that next day because I had to leave at like 4 or 5 p.m. and I stayed up all night. And so I went back to my house at 8 and was like, okay, I am packing for the next like 6 to 8 hours because I have to pack my entire life up. I'm a procrastinator, so like what's new? But yeah, so I don't really know what else there is to talk about. I think I've been talking for 11 minutes, I think is what I can see on the timer. So that is a very long time to be rambling about friends, but I just love them so dearly and I miss them, and I hope that they watch this video and smile off of all the memories that we had. I couldn't mention all of them, but there are so many that are so dear to my heart, and yeah, that's it. So I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you next time. Okay, dokie.